Hello guys, my name is Max. Today I'm going to be showing you how to disable the seatbelt indicator on your 2007 Honda CRV. We all have it, that annoying chime that keeps on going off. And when I tried to look up on YouTube to try to find a video to disable this very feature, I found nothing. So I decided to just dive head first and show you guys how to do it. After I installed it. So before I get started and tell you what you'll need, I gotta put this disclaimer in there. Please do not drive on public roads without your seatbelt on. Don't endanger others. And if you are gonna do this, please be sure you are doing it only on your private property. That is my specific use for this. We live on 1.5 acres currently, and I am constantly driving back and forth to the shop and to my main house. So that is my need for it, to disable it so that's not annoying me all day. So like I said, be responsible with this. All right, so let's get into it. So you're gonna need all these items. You're gonna want some just pliers or dikes, I guess, something sharp and stubby so you can cut the zip tie ends. You're gonna want zip ties. These are probably about 2 inches at most. They're pretty tiny. You don't need anything fancy. You could go to the Dollar Tree and get them. A couple of small flathead screwdrivers to pop off the cap. A stubby Phillips head to take off the trim piece. You're gonna need a number 9 security. What is these? Torx bits. Yeah, the ones that have you're gonna want the one that has a hollowed out center, because the ones on the seat belt have a little nub in the middle. So if you use a regular one, it's not going to go as deep and you might strip it out. And this is optional, but you can get a 14mm socket. That would be to take off the whole assembly if you want to do that. I found it made it easier for what I did, but looking back, it probably would have been just fine to not have to take off the trim alone. So I'll go ahead and show you guys this so far. So here's your seat belt. You got 2 Torx bits here and here. You're going to go ahead and take that number 9 security and take those off, and that will give you access to this. I'll go ahead and do that right now for you. And while I'm doing this, I'll talk. One of the best things you can do for yourself and for the future is to get yourself a computer repair kit. They have all the Torx bits. At least at this time of recording, you can find them for about 15 bucks. They're all China made, so they're not like anything fancy, but most of these screws are cheap anyway, so you just need something to be able to take it out. Nothing heavy duty. It has saved me a lot of headache being able to have this kit. It just has every size you would need, and it was perfect. Alright, so once this is off, you gain access to all of your internals. So this always moves. That's what locks your seatbelt, and then you can release it. Sorry, let me get a better angle for you here. And this is the sensor that we're looking at. This sensor pushes down. It has a little bit of it's a micro switch. So this pushes the micro switch down, and then it activates a little button. And that's what basically tells the computer if you have your seatbelt on or not. So what I did here, I'm not going to do again, but I took 2 of those zip ties I mentioned before, and I ran the small side this way underneath this wire and up, and then I connected the 2. Don't connect them until you've wrapped it underneath this wire. And then I tighten it down so that it basically depresses the gosh, it's been a long day, I'm sorry. The micro switch. It activates it 100% of the time. That way it's just always pressed in. Do that, but make sure the tabs, if you connect, I connected 2 zip ties. Make sure if you do that, or if you have one long one, this doesn't apply to you, but if you have 2 that you connect, make sure that these are facing out the tabs. Because if it's on the inside, I did this like 2 or 3 times, it will interfere with it. But as you can see here, it doesn't interfere, barely, but yeah. And for added security, I used some packing tape on the edges. That way the zip tie doesn't come off, because it's not a perfect fit. You can see here how big the zip tie is and how big the micro switch is. But anyway, if you decide to do the second method, which is to take off your trim piece, let me go around here and I'll show you how to do that. All right, so from this angle, it's probably best. You're gonna want to take your little flathead screwdriver and you're gonna want to pry off the cap. And the cap, it's tight on there, but it's nothing, it doesn't have a tab, so don't be afraid that you're gonna break anything. It's just really tight on there that you can get a good look of what it looks like here. All right, so once that's off, it becomes pretty loose. And there's one tab on this side right there. And then there's one right here, but it wraps around on the back side. So you want to take it and just slowly work it out. So I'm doing this one hand. So you pull that off and you push it to the front. It pops off. Be careful because that's where the tab is. You don't want to break either one of those. Oh, I forgot to tell you, sorry. When you take off this cap, you're gonna have a Phillips head. So you're just gonna want to take your small Phillips and take it out. My bad. Try and go fast with this so it doesn't waste your guys' time. All right, put that to the side, and then you'll gain access to the whole assembly. Do not, I didn't put this on last time, so I gotta take it off anyway. Do not take off this. I thought this was what the seatbelt indicator was, so I unplugged it and tried to drive it. It was not. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the airbags, maybe like a sensor, but it will have a little cap like this on it that wraps around. It has like it's like a ring style. So don't mess with that because it won't help you. It wasted my time. But if you want to take off this whole assembly to make it easier to work on the actual seatbelt, right here is the 14mm. Just go ahead and take that out, and it will make it to where this whole assembly can wrap out and also sit on your lap if you're on the driver's side. So, but that's just a quick video of how to disable your 2007 Honda CRV seatbelt chime. Something that's really nice with this too is since this is the driver's side, if no one's in the passenger seat, it still won't chime because the airbags are not being tripped by the sensor, by like the weight sensor. So if you are the only one that drives in your car most of the time, you only have to do the left hand side. If you have passengers and you're annoyed with it, you can always do it on the other side, but because of this tray, it will make it harder to do it than your driver's side. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below and I'll try my best to answer them. I'm not a YouTuber by trade. I just wanted to make this to help you guys out. So anyways, guys, have a great day.